Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me today. And well, we have some reports coming out that we have some major firepower heading into the Middle East area, carrying some pretty big weapons to go ahead and carry out this operation. There has been a lot of talk, a lot of people voicing concerns online about the possibility of actually sparking a new war, not so much a world war, right? But in our conflict where Americans are having to be invested, not with just weapons and money, but with actual blood by us going into a country to regime change. I know President Trump has been surrounded by a lot of neocons of late. These same neocons who have been really drumming up the idea of regime change in Iran on behalf of Israel. Israel, who is allied with the United States, where we provide many weapons, logistics, air support, et cetera, federal money, able to be who they are there in the Middle East. However, they are not seeming to be satisfied with just that. They want us to intervene even further by finishing this conflict, which they have started to finish it for them. And this is where there's happening. This is where a lot of the conversation has been really coming along. And we're going to dive into this way deeper tonight at 7 p.m. During the Freedom Stream. But the point is, can President Donald Trump avoid starting or sparking a new war that we will be involved in? And that is seriously the question. I know there's a lot of people, and he had touted this himself during his first administration, being a president of peace, right? Not starting any new wars, right? That's something that we liked. I liked. I remember the early 2000s. I remember being rah going into Iraq, and then not really realizing the impact that we were going to have at the time. And now reflecting back on that, what a stupid mistake that we did by going into Iraq under the assumptions of them having weapons of mass destruction. Now, all of a sudden, Iran is now just days away from a nuclear bomb. They've been days away for 40 years. They don't even have the technology to shoot a nuclear weapon to the United States, and all of that suitcase bombs that that are talked about in the 80s. That's boomer fear con that is pushed out there in order to make people scared. But here what we have is this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the story. Gateway Pundit. We'll dive into this here. It says this. We see the B-2 stealth bombers move towards Guam as President Trump is scheduled to return to the White House and participate in a national security meeting tonight, right? The 6 B-2 stealth bombers were reportedly moving toward the Western Pacific U.S. island of Guam this morning as U.S. involvement in Iran appears imminent. Each B-2 can carry two 30,000 bunker buster bombs, which are expected to be used in case of an attack on Iran's underground nuclear facilities due to their unique ability to penetrate underground. Iran's Fordo nuclear facility is believed to be 300 feet deep inside a mountain. Experts say that the bunker buster can penetrate the earth 200 feet, and a second bunker buster dropped at the same target could cause more damage further underground. The movement of the B-2 planes come after President Trump said he is weighing the option of striking Iran, while negotiations may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, he said. Based on the fact that we are substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make a decision where to go within the next 2 weeks. Well, our intel here in the U.S. has been given to President Trump saying that Iran is not near being able to get a nuclear weapon. And when presented with this, he said our intel agencies were incorrect. So who's he getting his intel agencies from? Well, as a matter of fact, that 2-week span that I just read, where he said that they're going to try to reach an agreement within 2 weeks. Well, the Israeli papers and intel agencies put out Iran may be on the verge of a nuclear weapon within 13 days or 15 days. It's quite a coincidence, right? I feel as though President Trump has some warmongering people around him. People like Mark Levin. Mark Levin is a absolute warmonger. who will sit there and share his fear porn on Fox News and scare everybody into thinking that Iran is going to be able to obtain this nuclear weapon and the whole world's going to be blown up, right? And then you have a lot of people that are trying to guilt you into it by saying, oh, if you're a Christian, you got to support Israel, the secular state of Israel. No, you don't. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now. President Trump is right now in a very precarious place where the base of his support. A lot of people who came out and voted for President Trump voted on the idea of not starting any new wars, right? We've lost so much in these wars in the Middle East. I don't think it would be a great idea for us to be entangled in another one for another 20 years and losing thousands of young people for a war that is non-beneficial for us, right? Anyway, am I off point? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll dive way deeper into this tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I look forward to doing that. Don't forget Freedom Stream. Thank you to all the members. I appreciate you guys. Without you, this could not be possible. And I'm so glad to be back in this chair with you guys daily. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a great day. See you tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everyone.